Dear God, we thank you for the blessing of this day to come together with family and friends and celebrate our daughter being called to the Torah as a bat mitzvah.
May your bat mitzvah initiate you into a lifelong commitment to Jewish living and Jewish values.
May you be a strong branch in our Jewish family tree, and may you continue to bring pride and blessing to our family, our community, and our world.
We wrap you in this talit, symbolizing God's sheltering presence and the mitzvot that adds holiness to our lives.
We pray that you will always be surrounded, as you are today, by the warmth of community and the sacred traditions of our ancestors. May you go from strength to strength. We love you.
So Jordyn, this is a talit from your great-grandfather, and it's really so beautiful to be able to be here with your parents and to have this special heirloom from your family passed down. Great. So
Yeah.
two greats.
Yep.
Great-grandfather passed down to you in your bat mitzvah. So you're going to put it around your shoulder. Okay, pull the hair out. Ridges. Okay, stand together for one more second. Jordyn, do the blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehitatef batzitzit.
I will say amen.
Shabbat Shalom. I would like to start off by thanking all of my friends and family who came from near and far to join me today as I become a bat mitzvah. Without the love and support of everyone here, this day would not be possible. Today is one of the most special days in my life because it's the first day of being a Jewish adult. With that comes great responsibility to carry on the traditions and history of my people. My bat mitzvah is important to me because I feel privileged because not every Jewish child gets to have one. Children who perished in the Holocaust did not get to have a bat mitzvah, and the ones who did survive could not have one either. To be able to practice my religion and heritage freely, I feel that I'm honoring those people around the world that do not have the freedom to practice their religion as I do. As a young Jewish adult, I will strive to follow the commandments of the Torah and always be proud of who I am. Judaism goes all the way back to Abraham, who believed in one God, while others were praying to idols. I feel God's presence when I'm at Hebrew school learning about my Jewish heritage. We are now going to chant Shema to the traditional tune. Please join us on page 34. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shukrivo, Malchuta Le'olam Va'ed. By having a Hebrew name, becoming a bat mitzvah, and reading from the Torah, I'm continuing my family heritage and traditions, remembering and honoring past generations.
Torah, 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 Tziva lanu Moshe.
Eloheinu, Adoni, Nesir, Elohim, Ata, B'toheinu, B'mivhar, Kevareinu, Kevor, Et Meteha, Ish, Mimenu, Et Kivo, Leiflech, Mimechar, Mikvor, Metecha.
So this third aliyah is reserved for our bat mitzvah, for you, Jordyn. And this is the moment that actually you magically transition before our eyes, I'm sure, to your parents. It doesn't seem like that much has changed, but that's okay. Because in the eyes of Judaism, becoming a young adult is not going and getting a job, fortunately, or living on your own, or doing kind of the things that we think of as adulting in the real world. But in Judaism, the idea of becoming adult is having the opportunity to do mitzvot and to make the world a better place. And so we give that to you at the youngest possible age, that maybe you can't quite fully appreciate what it means to be given a tradition that comes from so many thousands of years ago and that people have lived and died for throughout the generations, and it has so much to teach and so much spirit and so much heart. Can't quite always appreciate it at 12 or 13 years ago, but 13 years old, but we give it to you so that you can have it for your whole entire life and that you can grow into it and you can grow in your own Jewish voice and your own Jewish identity. So Jordyn, it's my honor to call you for your bat mitzvah, Aliyah. We're going to give a big mazel tov for Jordyn. Yeah.
My Torah portion is called Hayei Sarah. It comes from the book of Genesis, the first book of the Torah. It talks about how Abraham, the founder of the Jewish faith, is looking for a burial place for his wife Sarah, who passed away at the age of 127-year-old. Sarah is buried in this cave of Machpelah located in Hebron, Israel, and later on Abraham, his son Isaac, and his grandson Jacob will be buried there too, as well as their wives Rebekah and Leah. Hayei Sarah means the life of Sarah, but why does this portion talk about Sarah's death? I think my portion talks about Sarah's death when it's called the life of Sarah, because the first sentence says, Sarah lived 127 years. These were the years of Sarah's life. It talks about how long Sarah lived, but after this it goes to the events after her death, specifically her burial place and how it was purchased, so it stays in her Jewish hands and land forever. I learned from Abraham to show respect to the people we love, to honor them in life and death. I was impressed by how Abraham wanted a unique place to bury his wife Sarah, but also by his desire to have the next generation final resting place there as well.
Time to the chair. Torah, this way please. Asher Kamoshe Moshe. It's around the middle. Ilama Chazikima Betom Lecha
Me'usharet Hayim hi Mahazakima Betom Lecha Me'ushar. Shalom, 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 shalom.
Final thing that we ask our students to do is to learn about one child from the Holocaust period. There were 1.2, is that right? Is it 1.2 or 1.5? The number's coming out of my head right now, but over 1 million children were actually murdered by the Nazis and their collaborators during the Holocaust period. Many of them, we don't know their names, we don't know their biographies. Some were so very young. But just like the adults who perished, there's no one to really say Mourner's Kaddish for those children, which is, of course, a mitzvah for us as the survivors, and has some spiritual significance for people who have passed away as well. So it's 1.5. So as our congregation of about 50 or 60 bar mitzvah students a year, each one adopts a different Holocaust child, and we hope to make even just the smallest dent in that number of 1.5 million Jewish children who were not remembered in giving an honorable memory and burial.
One lesson that I have learned from becoming a bat mitzvah is that being part of the Jewish community is a huge privilege. It's amazing how I'm able to study Torah and even have a bat mitzvah. Jews in previous generations were not able to do these things that we take for granted every single day. A lot of the time we were hated just because we were Jewish. Today I would like to remember and honor one Jewish child who was not able to experience special occasions like having a bat mitzvah. Her name is Carrie Krell. Carrie was born on January 27, 1936 in Vienna, Austria. She was the daughter of Diana and Willy Krell. They grew up in Poland. After Germany annexed Austria, Carrie's father moved them back to Poland, where he had been offered a job as a bookkeeper in the town of Borslau. Living in Borslau, Carrie and her family were at first spared the full force of German anti-Jewish measures because their town lay in the Soviet-administered area. The Germans invaded the Soviet Union in 1941, when Carrie was only 5.5. Carrie and her family were deported with the last of the Jews in her town in the summer of 1944. They were taken to Plaszow concentration camp. On October 15th, they were taken to Bergen-Belsen concentration camp. When they arrived, the Germans took away her mother and sent her to Auschwitz, where she was murdered immediately. Carrie's dad did not want to lose her, so he dressed her up as a boy and she stayed with him in the men's barrack. One day, a boy noticed Carrie's odd way of using the bathroom and revealed her secret. They sent her to the women's barrack where she was alone without her dad. Mr. Krell joined every single work detail so he could pass by her barrack just to get a glimpse of her. Carrie was weakened by hunger and caught typhus. She died January 6, 1945, a few weeks before her 9th birthday and liberation. Today on my bat mitzvah, I'm extremely thankful to live in a free country where I can practice my religion without anyone telling me I can't. I'm also very thankful for all the people before me who fought and risked their lives just so I could be standing here today with all of you. As we recite Morna's Kaddish, I promise to keep Carrie's memory and her story in my mind and heart. I also promise to do my part in the Jewish community, keeping our religion alive and in the future teaching it to all the kids who come after me.
In addition to Jordyn's Holocaust child, we remember Richard Peskin, Jordyn's grandfather, and Jeffrey Segals and Gigi Betty from your personal family.
Thank you to Rabbi Amy Rader, who guided me through this process. You're the most gentle, caring, and approachable rabbi ever. You're an unbelievable leader and role model. Thank you to Rabbi Hagar Avshalom for teaching me what I needed to know for the service. Your help and guidance through this process would not have been possible without your time and support. To my grandma Marianne and Barry, thank you for all the fun times that we shared together. I love coming over and going to the beach and going out for ice cream with you guys. To my grandma Lonnie, I love coming to visit you in New York and sleeping over at your house and hanging out with Miles and Tanya. I look forward to February when you come to Florida and stay with us. The time we spend together means so much. To my grandpa Richie, I miss you so much and I wish you were still here to see me become a bat mitzvah. I miss your big personality and giant laugh. I know that you're watching over us and would be so proud. To my grandma Linda and Papa Jim, I love coming to your house and sleeping over. We have so many inside jokes together and funny times. I love it we can just laugh and be silly together. Sammy, although you give me a hard time, you're still the cutest, silliest, best sister anyone could ask for. We always seem to laugh together until we can't breathe. Even though we fight sometimes, you take my clothes, makeup, jewelry, and just about anything of mine you can get your hands on. I really couldn't imagine my life without you. Through it all, I know that I have a best friend for life in you. I love you forever and will always be your best big sister. Dad, I don't know where to begin. Special trips to the supermarket, browsing the farmer's market, cooking dinner together, and of course, daddy-daughter fishing trips are just some of my favorite times with you. I love how you always find time in your busy day to spend some alone time with me. I even like your corny jokes. As I get older, I like spending more time with my friends. We'll always make sure to have room for you. You're the rock of our family and take such good care of us all. It would be impossible for me to thank you for all that you do for our family. I love you and hope that I can continue to make you proud. Last but certainly not least, Mommy. How can a 13-year-old girl possibly thank her mom for all the things she does? Mom, you've been there for me in a way that no one else possibly could. From taking care of me when I'm sick, a hug or cuddle on the couch when I need it, driving me all over town, cleaning up after me, our chats in the car, and our funny laughing episodes. I can't imagine life without you. You inspire me to do my best every single day, and I cannot thank you enough for that. I hope to be just like you when I'm older. I love you so much. You have no idea. Thank you to everyone who has come here to celebrate my bat mitzvah with me. I wouldn't be here without each and every one of you.
So Jordyn, I want to say Mazel Tov to you. It's really been amazing to watch you grow from the shy little girl that was not that long ago, who was kind of nervous and kind of worried about how all this was going to go, into the beautiful young lady that you are today. And I want you to take this experience and know that anything that you set your mind to, you totally can do, that you have an amazing family, loving and supportive group of friends and community that will always support you in your dreams ahead. And I do think this is Judaism's way of giving you that confidence to go forward in your life with your own voice, finding your own spirit and your own compass to navigate through the tricky things that come as you become a teenager and a young lady and all of those things ahead. That you always look back on this day and know that you can do it and that you did it with great poise and great confidence. So Mazel Tov. Proud of you. Thank you.
All right. To Jordyn's surprise,
What?
I actually wrote a song today. We're going to sing. So where's the guitar? Just kidding. She would have freaked out, although we told her we were going to do that. Anyway, Jordyn, you're my firstborn, fishing buddy, fellow adventurer, and undeniable goofball. I can't begin to tell you how proud your mother and I are of the young woman you've become. Jordyn, you've always been someone who follows your heart. You were never a follower, part of the herd, or attention seeker. That doesn't mean you never got attention, as anyone can see how beautiful you are inside and out. You're a straight-A student filled with compassion and love for all creatures, bugs included. In fact, to this day, you still will not kill a bug and always call or scream like crazy for me to come in to do the dirty work. You love your animals, Oh, your love for animals has always made me smile in amazement. In fact, I remember when you were younger and always chasing after and catching butterflies. For some reason, they were attracted to you. Butterflies would come out of nowhere and land on your shoulder as if they could tell you wouldn't hurt them. Maybe it's a sixth sense and that we don't see as adults going about our daily lives, but I always noticed. I always noticed how you had a calming effect on animals and others around you. Another example is when you and I went fishing for the first time at the fish hatchery. You caught a rainbow trout that had noticed that Floppy wasn't going to make it. I also don't think your mother would have taken too kindly to keeping a rainbow trout partially live in our bathtub at home. So we decided we would put Floppy in a plastic grocery bag that I had in the trunk of my car, and we would throw him in the bay, which was across the road. Again, me being the sharp adult, I knew Floppy was a freshwater fish and wouldn't do so well in the saltwater bay, but you were determined to get him back in the water as quickly as possible so he could swim away. We raced to the bay, which was only a few minutes away, and we tossed Floppy off the dock. We watched as Floppy flopped a bit in the water and then slowly did the backstroke to heaven. After Floppy left our sight, you kept asking the whole way home if I thought Floppy made it and was still alive. But I think deep down you knew the answer. You knew a freshwater fish couldn't survive in salt water, but you never lost hope. You never gave up, and you always tried to do the right thing and help save creatures that you could. Jordyn, you're amazing with kids and small children, as evident in your joy of babysitting. But most of all, it's your joy of life and adventure that makes you so proud. I love the fact that you're always game for an outdoor adventure, whether it's hiking trails, years ago in the woods in Cold Spring Harbor, or kayaking in the Intracoastal, or always wanting to go on an excursion when we were traveling on vacation. You keep us on our toes, and you push us to see the world through your beautiful eyes. Jordyn, we're all gathered here today and marvel at the young woman that you've become. Your mom, Sammy, and I are so proud of you and can't wait to share life's journeys with you. Keep true to yourself and don't ever give up on following your passions, and you will continue to inspire us with your deeds. I love you and will always be your biggest fan.
To my jujube. Grandma said time was going to go fast, and boy, was she right. It feels like just yesterday, Daddy and I were having our 20-week sonogram to find out whether we were having a boy or a girl. When the doctor announced that our first baby was in fact a girl, the excitement and joy that I felt was overwhelming. From the time I was a little girl, I dreamed about having a daughter, someone to go out to lunch with, shop, manicures, all the girly stuff. Little did I know that I was not only going to get all that girly stuff, but I was also getting a little girl who loved bugs, digging for snails, climbing trees, and yes, getting dirty. From the time you were 4 years old, you were teaching me about the different kinds of birds and bugs that you would see in the backyard. I had no idea what you were talking about or how you even knew what all the different species were. One day, I decided to Google what we had seen because I could not imagine that my 3-foot-tall, pigtailed little girl knew so much. And of course, I found out that you were right. From then on, I never questioned you about anything pertaining to nature. Your curiosity and appreciation for nature and the world around you inspired me to look closer to the beauty outside. Jordyn, you have exceeded my expectations of a daughter and broadened my ideas of what having a daughter is really all about. Each day I watch you grow and am amazed and proud of your sensitivity to people, animals, and the world around you. I am proud of the hardworking straight-A student you have become. Your work ethic will take you far, and I can't wait to see what contributions you will make to the world. You are the most caring big sister to Sammy, and you always make me laugh with your silly voices and faces. Your sometimes offbeat sense of humor leaves me hysterical. I'd like to share a little story about Jordyn. When Jordyn was just 7 years old, we began the search for Sleepaway Camp. We ordered around 20 videos and watched them together, hoping to narrow the search down to just 3 camps that we would go and visit. Jordyn watched the Camp Vega video and immediately fell in love with the loons. For those of you that don't know, it's a local duck to Maine. I had no idea what that was either until Jordyn told me. She fell in love with Echo Lake and the tall trees that line the perimeter of the camp. She had never swam in a lake before and talked about how fun it would be to swim with the fish. She very quickly said, "Mommy, this is it. This is the camp I want to go to." I looked at her and explained that I didn't know one person that goes to camp there. Not one, nobody her age, nobody older, nobody. Remember, Jordyn's my first child, my baby. How could I send my baby somewhere without a familiar face? I again explained to her that if she chose Vega, she could possibly be going there alone, that I would try to find other kids who lived locally to meet ahead of time, but that there was a real possibility that she would go not knowing anyone. Jordyn looked at me as if there was something wrong with me. "Mommy," she said, "I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna make new friends. Isn't that what going to sleepaway camp is all about?" In that moment, I was stunned. The maturity and confidence you displayed gave me the strength to challenge my own insecurities and send you to your summer home. And sure enough, you went off to camp barely knowing anyone, and you made friends of a lifetime. Well, fast forward 2 years later when we decided to relocate to Florida. Once again, Jordyn was the optimistic, adventurous one, ready for the challenge. We moved down here, and without hesitation, you walked in the doors of your new school, and you looked back at me, and you saw the worry in my face. "Mommy, I'm gonna be okay." Jordyn, I hope you continue to travel through life with the ease and confidence that you have displayed for the last 13 years. I want you to know that throughout your life, I will always be on your side, even if I lose patience, even if you lose patience, even if we're both upset with one another. No matter what, I will always be right here for you. Always. I have just 3 wishes for you. I wish that you have good health always. I wish that you laugh every day. And I wish that you have a daughter just like you one day. I love you.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for it. Our voices rising strong together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Simen tov and mazel tov. Simen tov and mazel tov and mazel tov. Simen tov and mazel tov and mazel tov.